Vikings depth chart out before the Packers. Few surprises. Well, all right, welcome back to the Onebar and Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and the Vikings released their first depth chart prior to the Packers, and I'd say 90% of it's pretty status quo, but there's a few wrinkles in there. It's like Lupagus's nutsack. A couple of wrinkles thrown in there.
Yeah, a couple, I won't call them surprises, but definitely things worth mentioning, I think, when it comes to this first depth chart of the Minnesota Vikings. Hey, that intro, did you slow that thing down a little bit? It's some a little more groove in there. I don't know. I was really feeling it.
I didn't slow it down at all.
All right. Just curious. All right. Well, again, before we hop into this, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the vids. We're trying to get to 8,000 subscribers by, what do you say, Halloween?
Oh, we'll get there. We better get there before then. Hit that sub button, hit that like button, hit up Lift Bridge, and also join us live after the game. Drink some beers, bring you guys on, studs and turds. I can't wait.
And I believe we're going horned up tomorrow, right?
Horned up tomorrow, Wednesday. 7 o'clock.
Yeah, so it is Packers week, and we'll hop in that probably more starting tomorrow. But right now, it's a couple news items we got to touch on. The first is definitely the depth chart. Well, first was Duke Shelley coming home.
Duke Shelley came home. So depth chart. I mean, I put some together. Lupagus might have some, but here are the big takeaways for me. Jalen Rigor. I mean, not like there's a ton of. He's over Naylor. He's the fourth receiver.
That doesn't surprise me. I mean, I actually think Naylor's probably candidate to be inactive,
he will be
especially early in the season. So that doesn't surprise me at all. I don't know. Did you want to talk about each one or what?
No, I mean, I just figured Rigor, they would at least throw him at 5. I mean, I expect Naylor to be inactive as well. You mentioned Jonathan Bullard, the starting defensive end. Again, I mean, this one isn't overly surprising just based off his competition. But
I think there's two things look into this. Was he the starter when Armon Watts was still here? Did he quietly earn that job, making Armon Watts expendable? We never really saw him in a preseason game except for that first one. Did he do something there kind of under the radar, really, really good preseason camp that pushed him over to the edge to make Armon Watts, tradable or cuttable? I don't know. But the fact that he's ahead of Ross Blacklock, who just got here, shouldn't really be that surprising. But I was still a little surprised.
Next up, I got James Lynch is next in line when it comes to the defensive ends. And this is a guy that we talked about that probably we're surprised that he even really made the team. And again, competition isn't crazy, but I am surprised that he is the next man up at defensive end.
Yeah, it's weird too. This may factor into what kind of fronts they're running. They're running 3-4s, 4-3s. Is Lynch, more apt to be ahead on the depth chart depending on what formation they're running?
Ask him to.
He can, and he will, because he has to. He can't play it very well. That's the problem. But we'll see. I think there's going to be a lot of fluctuation, rotation here with the D-line and Minnesota Vikings. So it may not really matter when it comes to depth chart. But it is interesting that James Lynch, who really didn't have a very good preseason, is, pretty much first man up.
Yeah, and it will be interesting to see how many they have actually active for the game. I mean, all these guys aren't going to be active, so there ain't going to be a huge rotation. But they will be huge men. Next up, Andrew Booth.
Yeah, Andrew Booth. He's ranked pretty low when it comes to cornerback depth. Fellow rookie Caleb Evans was ranked higher than him.
He's last.
The pecking order. He's behind even Chris Boyd. Does this show maybe he's not fully healthy yet? The early raves in camp were that he was looking amazing. Vikings got a steal. And then play kind of went down a little bit. You hear how fiery this guy is, how cocky he is. But then he gets hurt. He actually gets hurt. I think he got hurt twice, didn't he? Then he rolled his ankle bad. So are they just having him down depth chart so he can heal up a little bit?
I just think it's just because he's been hurt. He's a little behind the game. And Chris Boyd and even a Caleb Evans, if they push came to shove and had to get on the field, they probably want someone that's a little more ready. So I don't think this is going to last whatsoever. There's no way in hell Andrew Booth that Chris Boyd is better than Andrew Booth. And even a Caleb Evans. Love me some Caleb Evans, but come on. This is not going to last.
Yeah, and let's not forget, Caleb Evans didn't have a very good game against the Niners. He was getting beat there, so definitely not his strongest game, but he will come up and lay some hits. So I do like that about Caleb Evans. He's very aggressive as a tackler. And Again, the guy's just so fun. He's hard not to love. The last one you have here, Jalen Rigor, starting punt returner. I just like that they just named the guy. This is our punt returner. No more question. No more is it going to be Naylor? Is it going to be Rigor? It's Jalen Rigor.
Yeah, we haven't even seen him return a punt for the Vikings, and damn it, we're going to see it week 1 against the Packers, it looks like, and I will be scared shitless. I know Rigor has done this a lot in his career, but we haven't seen him return a punt for the Vikings, and I will continue to be scared.
I'm not scared of anything.
Yes, you are.
Everyone. No problem.
He's going to take one of the house. Jalen Rigor is going to win Vikings fans over. That's going to be my maybe even a bold prediction come horned up tomorrow. Jalen Rigor is going to win us over immediately.
I think he's got to win NFL fans over. I mean, right now, this guy's looked at as a bust. So he has to do a lot of winning. It's not just me for Vikings fans either.
Well, I don't care about the rest of the NFL. Let's go. Let us know your surprises. Look at that depth chart. Any surprises? Nick Mullins is, in fact, the backup quarterback. Lupagus has 14 flies crawling on his face. And
just this one random fly.
God.
I must smell like shit. Oh, God, it's inside me right now. All right, well, I'm going to go detox and spray myself down with some off. Before that, remember, Mountain Dew was originally made to be mixed with whiskey.